It's bedtime story. Today, the title of the book that we're going to read is The Shoemaker and His Elves. This is by Eric Blair, illustrated by Bill Dixon. Once upon a time, there was a kind shoemaker. He was so poor. He could buy only enough leather to make one pair of shoes at a time. One evening, he carefully cut the leather for the shoes he wanted to make the next day. Then he and his wife lay down to sleep. The next morning, the shoemaker returned to work. He was amazed to find the shoes already made. Not a stitch was out of place. Soon, a customer bought the shoes. Because the shoes were so perfect, the customer gladly paid twice the usual price. With the money, the shoemaker was able to buy enough leather for 2 pairs of shoes. Again, he cut the leather for the shoes he planned to make the next day. In the morning, the shoemaker found the shoes already finished. Customers bought these shoes too. The shoemaker earned enough to buy leather for 4 pairs of shoes. The following morning, the shoemaker found 4 pairs of finished shoes. And so it went. Whatever he cut out in the evening was finished in the morning. The shoemaker soon made so much money that he was no longer poor. Before long, he was almost rich. But the shoemaker was curious. One night, he said to his wife, "Let's stay up tonight. Maybe we can see who is helping us." His wife liked the idea. That night, the shoemaker and his wife hid in a corner behind some hanging clothes. Around midnight, 2 naked little men sat down at the shoemaker's table to make shoes. They stitched, sewed, and hammered all through the night. The shoemaker and his wife watched from their hiding place. When the shoes were finished, the little men ran away. The next day, the shoemaker's wife said, "Those 2 little men have made us rich. We should show them how grateful we are." "What do you think we should do?" asked the shoemaker. "They must be freezing, running around with no clothes," his wife said. "I will make them little shirts, coats, pants, and stockings. You can make them little shoes." The shoemaker liked this plan. He and his wife made the little shoes and the little clothes to thank the little man. The shoemaker and his wife waited for Christmas Eve. Then they laid the little shoes and the little clothes on the table. Around midnight, the little man showed up again. They saw the little shoes and the little clothes. They were very surprised and happy. They quickly put their presents on and started to sing. "Now we are men so fine to see," the little men sang. "No longer shoemakers shall we be." The little men danced and skipped in their fine new clothes. They joyfully jumped over chairs and benches. At last, they danced out the door and were never seen again. The shoemaker and his wife were rewarded for their good deeds. They succeeded in everything they've tried and they lived happily ever after. The end.